Your goal is not enough.
Today we are going to talk about defect leakage. So this is a very interesting topic which you need to understand, because whenever we have a production issue, then this terminology come into picture amongst the management, that they are going to discuss that why we have defect leakage and all those stuff. So today we need to understand this terminology, okay, and what are the different aspects of defect leakage. So let's start. So what is defect leakage? So defect leakage means that whatever issues or bugs we encounter in production, so that's called defect leakage. If suppose we have an application, and that application have some functionality which is not working in production, so and it is considered as a defect, so that defect known as a defect leakage, because that defect comes in production instead of the QA environment or lower level environments while performing the testing or the development of the application. So that particular defect comes under defect leakage. So what is the impact of defect leakage? So mostly the impact of the defect leakage is negative. First, the customer dissatisfaction, because as more of the defect leakage, we are not able to deliver the quality which has been committed to the client. So, and whenever there is a production issue, then they have a loss, not even financial loss, they have a customer loyalty loss also there. So it increases the customer dissatisfaction in development team. The second thing is it increase the maintenance cost. So how it increase the maintenance cost? Because whenever they find a defect in production, then they have to work extra for that particular defect. They have to plan again a complete release cycle for that, or hot fixes for that, and the more efforts and more work required to be done for that particular defect, or the number of defects. Delayed delivery. So sometimes what happen, that there are chances where they want to go live on a certain date, like they have some festival going over there, so they want to be put that particular feature on in the in that on that particular day. Like suppose there is some particular feature the application provides, like for the discounted rate calculation, the application is providing, or the website is providing on Christmas or on New Year or Boxing Day. But just before they want to on that feature on that particular day, before that they went live, and they try to use that feature for a couple of days with lower discounted rates, not specific to the that particular day accounts, and they find that okay, that those discount calculations are not working. So now again their delivery, their commitment to the clients, it got delayed. The fourth point is loss of competitive advantage, because as they are because of the defect leakage, they have to go for again for the development, they have to fix those issues. So they will be delay in the competition, they will be behind in the competition with their competitors to provide such functionalities in their applications. So it's a great loss. Another one is reputation damage. As you know that if something is not working in production, if there is the end user who is using the application and he sees that, oh no, this application is not working as per the expectation, or it's getting crashed again and again, then they lost the not only the loyalty of the customer, but also the reputation, that the end users thinks that no, this application is not reliable, so we should not use that particular application or the product of a company. So it's caused a great reputation damage, which is not easy to calculate in financial terms. So what are the reasons of defect leakage? So the first one is incomplete requirements. Sometimes what happens that the requirements are not complete. There are certain dilemmas for the requirements where they have to provide a complete requirement, that how that particular feature work. For example, if there is a discount, as we discussed, there is a discount feature on the particular a product on a particular date. Suppose if the requirements are incomplete, where they are not where the requirements is not up it's not clear that okay, for certain product or line of product should have this much amount of discount, and the other line of product doesn't have should not have any discount, and certain line of product should have only a specific range of discounts. If those requirements are not clear, then there might be a case where the applicable discount rates are not displaying because those are not developed as the requirements were incomplete. The second is insufficient testing. So this is the biggest pain area where management has to understand, and I think the stakeholders should understand, because what happens sometimes when, because in urgency and because they have a delay in the deployment or certain deadlines, they says that okay, 90% of the time has been comes under the development, but they are giving only 10% time to test. So this caused a huge impact, because if you are not giving a sufficient time of testing, then there might be the edge cases, there are corner cases, there are many other cases not covered under testing. And so sometimes they have to, testers have to test it very on high priority, and so they might miss some of the test scenarios because of the urgency. So insufficient testing time is the biggest reason, I believe, in defect leakage. The third thing is complexity of software. So again, the more the complex software, more the edge cases and the corner cases missed by the testing team, or missed by even by the development team also to develop those. So as the complexity of software is increase, this defect leakage scenario comes very frequently. The fourth one is human error. Sometimes human error caused it. They directly didn't test the scenarios, they might didn't understand it correctly, so this might be a case. The lack of automation, because what happens that many of the time the regression suits which are required to be run manually, so in such case what happened that because those features were already working fine from last couple of months, or from last couple of years, so humans, when they are testing manually, so it comes overlooked. So the testing team or the development team should focus on automation, because what happened whenever new feature is implemented and we need to run the regression, then suppose we have a big regression suite, and if we are trying to test it manually, take more time, and if we have deadlines, if we don't have that much time, then we should follow the automation suite. So the lack of automation also caused the defect leakage, because in such cases the regression suites have the defects which were not present there, because now they are there because of the new implementation. So how to calculate the defect leakage? So it's a basic simple formula to calculate the defect leakage. So it's like the total defects found in production divided by total defects found internally when the development of the application, multiply by 100. So it's simply like, as an example, that if total defects found in while developing the application is 50 and total defects found in production equals to 10, then we have 20% of defect leakage, which is quite a huge consideration as a defect leakage. Many of the times in different companies they have a contract of around 5% to 7% of defect leakage acceptable by the clients, but 20% is very high. So again, it's depend on the customer to customer and the company to company, that how much defect leakage is acceptable. So this formula is pretty much required to understand that how much defect leakage we have in a particular release cycle. So how to communicate to stakeholders about the defect leakage? So the first thing is explain the defect leakage, why we have the defect leakage and which areas we have defect leakage. Okay, how much percentage we have defect leakage, like we have the formula with us. So if you are providing data with proper calculations, then it will be easy to communicate to stakeholders to understand that okay, this much defect leakage we have in this cycle, which is less than the previous cycle or more than the previous cycle. Then the same as the provide data, provide the charts and the graphs them to understand that okay, which areas are the highly impacted areas, which areas have more defect leakage, which areas have no defect leakage. So it will be very easy to understand for stakeholders And also we can provide the data like which scenarios have more defect leakage. Again, the root cause is the main action we need to perform. So we need to understand that why we have the defect leakage. Do we have incorrect implementation? Do we have improper or incomplete requirements with us, or is it a regression issue, or is it direct or is it a corner case as a edge case, or is a direct uh, missing of the defect. So the complete root cause analysis is required, and when we did the root cause analysis, then we can present a proper justification to stakeholders that why we have defect leakage. Then the action plan, that how we can overcome this defect leakage in future, how we can decrease the defect leakage, how we can control the defect leakage. We should have a proper action plan that okay, from next cycle of testing, or from next release cycle, we are implementing that much portion as an automation, or we are implementing new automation suite, so we don't have a regression issues, or we can identify the regression issues. Then encourage q around. Again, it's a very very important point, that encourage q around it. The management should emphasis on the q arounds, that we should plan at least a couple of cycles, at least 3 cycles or 2 cycles of testing should be required at least. It should not be the case only the one cycle of testing is done, and then when the issues are fixed, then directly defect testing is there and directly deploy. Because what happens when the new implementation is done or defects have been fixed, it might impact the previous or the different other functionalities, so the regression suite is required, and there might be some cases where manual intervention is required to test. So qa require a qa round. Okay, encourage more qa round, not like 6 or 7 rounds, but at least 3, at least 2 to 4 rounds, somewhere between this range. And the last one is the reporting. So continuous reporting to the stakeholders, that okay, last deployment we have this defect leakage. Now we have taken the actions against those areas. Now we have less number of defect leakage. We are providing more quality and within the deadlines. Okay, so if we are continuously reporting them with all the data, then it will be a good stuff to create a confidence in stakeholders. Okay, so this is all about the defect leakage uh, today. So thank you for supporting my channel. If you're new to my channel, please like, share and subscribe to my channel, and press the notification bell for more upcoming videos. Thank you for your support.